So, did you know that there is a fun fact about those that likes dark romance books? They say that they have the biggest red flags when it comes to books, like the characters. We like, okay, I shouldn't say we because I'm not in there yet, but sometimes. But, anyways, those people, they tend to like the most red flags in books, like the worst, the most confusing, morally gray characters. But I say we because what comes next is good. We have the highest, we have the highest standards when it comes to people in real life. The books that I read, the red flags mostly are the men, just because, but it can be women as well. I have to look after it. If there's like, like a book when the guy is just like, I'm just the boy, and the girl is the red flag, the morally gray character. Because sometimes when we have a girl that's a little bit morally gray, there's like a guy that can kind of there as well. It's like we both take a share of it, not just the boy is the quiet, normal one, and the girl is the issue, the top, not toxic, but the issue. So today I have another two dark romance books that I read in past few weeks, and there's something there. I think I'm reading a lot of dark romance this year. Did I start good? Buckle up. This is not my first rodeo with dark romance books, but if you want me to talk about all the books that I read, which I think are the best, is the best or the best, let me know. I might do a video about it. I think I have like at least 10 books, even if you include series, that there's certain pieces that we can take out of it. But this is something for another day, for another video, probably, most likely. But subscribe to my channel and leave a comment. We can see that later. Today, one of the books, the first one, is Leather and Lark. I think is a trilogy. So, but I just read the second book. There are standalone, so you can read whichever you want. I chose the second one because a friend of mine read it and said like, like I like it. It's not because nowadays a lot of books are like a little bit erotic. So she was like, it doesn't have too much of that, and the part that it has is not disgusting to see because like it kind of fit in the story, so it wasn't traumatizing. So what is the premise of the story? We have the girl, a serial killer, and the guy is a contract killer. The main premise, the main trope is fake marriage. So they will meet like in the past and then they're gonna re-meet again. But the girl, she's so like, she loves her friend, she wants to defend her friend and whatever. They would find themselves in a situation where she will have to marry him in order to save her friend. And they hate each other. So it's like kind of enemies to lover, fake marriage. This story, I think the author explained every single thing, like the reason the girl is a serial killer, her family, and also the romance, kind of the friendship. I think if you want to understand the friendship and mostly the reason why she feels like so much into sacrificing herself of marrying someone else to save her friend. I think we should read the first book, but I'm not gonna do it. I might. No, I'm not gonna say never, but not for now. And but I think it explained really well, and you can explain a little bit of what happened in the first book, not in details, but you can get something out of it. So it's like we have three brothers that will get into relationship with three friends. So yeah, that's the premise of the whole series. It's all to do with criminals, but they're not the criminals are like going to jail. Let's say like they are the criminals that we are rooting for them, if it makes sense. Um, I like the writing. The one thing that I would say is like, and I understand, like the book, it felt fast paced, but at the same time, it's like it's one book that where we have to talk about a lot of things because it has too much things to take out of it, like the serial killer part, the fake marriage, the enemies to lover, the family, to understand the how like especially her how her family works and all those things, and it can be a little bit confusing. But if you like fake marriage, enemies to lover, and to see it like in a if you like dark romance books, and the girl being like the main criminal, like she's a serial killer because we used to see like the guys being something and the girls just being like, I like dangerous, let me go. And this time we'll have like, I'm the dangerous, what do you want? So it was good to see that. If I had to rate it 1 to 10, I'll say four, 4.5. And that means I'm not gonna read again, but I will recommend it. I got 4.5 to 5 to be like, I'm not gonna read it again, but I would recommend it. It wasn't the worst. It was kind of good. The next one we have Scared. Not Scared, sorry, Scarred. Um, it's from the Never After series. I forgot how many books this series has, but it has a lot. And I think more than four that I can assure you. As well, there are standalones, so you can pick anyone that you want to read. I picked this one because I like the cover. Oh, it's from the series The Hooked. It's Hooked, I think. Yeah, from that that was the first book of the series. I was about to read that, but I heard people saying like because I was about to buy the physical book, The Hooked, and I end up not doing it because I read people that like I didn't like it. It was like I was like okay, I'm not gonna read it. And then the second book, this one, Scarred, it had more of a positive review, even though the first book had more people reading it. It was the most popular. Sometimes people, when they buy, they read something, uh, and then you see the review, and it's like it doesn't match. But it would make sense that people would try to read it and say if they like it or not. But anyways, in this book, we also have like a strong female character. She's to be a this one it happens in a kingdom. And I was trying to understand like the correlation from the first book with second book. I don't think they're too correlated. I didn't see any correlation. It might exist. I'm not saying it doesn't, but I didn't dive too deep into it. I think I should, but I end up not doing it. I'm so sorry, and I'm not gonna do it. I might, but I'm not gonna say never. I'm not promising I'm doing it. Not for now. I think I said it before. I did. So this happened in a kingdom. This strong female character, she's supposed and to be a queen, right? But all of it is a plan because she wants to take revenge on the death of her father that died because of the king, the one that she's supposed to marry. But then we have the male character. He's really, really, really a morally gray character, but I like it. He's the prince, the king's brother, and he's kind of a rebel. He and his brother they don't go well together because of their childhood. he has like a big scar on his face, and then again he's a rebel. He doesn't care about what anyone thinks. He do whatever he wants whenever he wants. That's kind of cool, and it has that energy of the main character energy. So the whole premise is like, again, this is also a book that it was kind of fast paced because I felt like we had a lot of things to digest and that we could develop more, but I think it's kind of underdeveloped by the things that it could be developed and well. But at the same time, I'm not mad at it. It was good, and I love the tension. I love books when like will have tension between the two main characters. You know what I mean? Those looks of like those, to explain like the tension that I'm meaning is like, you know, those almost kiss that it end up not happen. But it's like when you see in the book and like, oh, and then like, oh, it didn't happen. But then it happens again, and it's like, and then didn't happen. I was like, it, reading it, it was kind of like that tension, that almost, that happen not happening, that I would call it prohibit relationship, the trope, a little bit of enemies to lover. It had like some plots. It was really, really, really good. Those plots, but again, I felt it was kind of underdeveloped because I felt that it had so many things to take out of it. It ended good, and one thing that I liked of how fast paced it was because it wasn't like a filler there that you would feel like it wasn't a chapter that it would be like that you would be like, why is this in here? If this wasn't here, the story would be the same. You know what I mean? Every chapter meant something, and oh, we have like multiple POVs. I'm sorry I didn't say in the first book. The first book also had the letter in arc. It had multiple POVs, and I like it. Now come to the Scarlet one. The writing wasn't bad, the storytelling wasn't bad, but again, it's not the best. Underdeveloped. I think it was the type of book. It was the type of story that we could do not 3 books, but 2 books. We could go with 2 books, but to go with 2 books, sometimes we'll have to add fillers. But the way she did it, I don't think I would feel pissed. But I felt like the story was well resolved. Every single thing went to its place at the end. I kind of, okay, it's kind of hard to say like I didn't like the ending, but I think the ending could be more interesting. And if it were more interesting, it could have like a second book, like a novella about them. It still can happen. We don't know. I don't think it can happen. But to this one, I would rate it 6 out of 10. Yeah. Again, if it's below 7, I'm not gonna read it again. To be honest, below 8.5, I'm not reading it again. But it's 6. That means I would literally recommend it. I'm not reading it again. Not soon, at least. I would recommend it. It would be, if I had like a shelf with the books that I liked, it would be there, up there, to be one of the first that I liked. Not my favorite, but I liked it, and it's a good pick. I like this one more than the first one. I mean, the one I was saying first, but it wasn't a waste of my time to read both of these books. Like I said in the previous videos, I'm getting into dark romance more. I'm finding things I like kind of trash, but I find good things, good storytelling, good writing. It's getting better and better, and that's it. I don't like to talk about books because sometimes I feel like I'm not doing a good job describing it, but at the same time it's like I don't want to give spoilers, so what am I gonna do? So that's all for now. If, like I said previously, if you want more book reviews, book romance, wow, amazing, dark romance books, um, let me know. I have a list with the ones that I read and the ones that I want to. And if you have suggestion, I would love more things, because it's like I want juicier things, not just storytelling, but also different tropes. Like, I'm tired of enemies to lover. Give me something else. But the essence of dark romance is enemy to lover. I don't know. Anyways, that's all. I'm recording this video the day that I had just an anxious afternoon. But after taking some shower, I'm feeling good. Now I have to sleep because we have to rest. It's important. So, so that's it. Drink water, stay healthy, exercise, go out more. Something that I should do. I'm not doing. Until next video.